catch by Jay Nathaniel. Touchdown, Hurricanes!
Junior taking a shot deep. Open target. Got it. Her third. From left to right. Sets off. Oh,
Down!
watch where he's going to set up. He's going to go for it. It fell from the sky into Aaron Ike's hand.
We continue on with week 1 of season 17 here in the CFSL. We bring you Eastern Michigan versus West Virginia, another MAC versus P2 matchup here on YouTube. I'm joined in the booth by my partner, Matt Hatchell. Matt, what are your expectations here in this one?
Yeah, Vinny, we've already seen one MAC team pull the upset. Can we see a second tonight? I'm not entirely too sure. Eastern Michigan coming off that miracle run in the playoffs last season, but very different team this year. I'm going to be interested to see how they get these things going tonight.
As West Virginia is going to start off here with the football in this one. John Paul Smith right here, as you can see, an impact player for this one. I'm excited to see how this goes. You got to love the field here at West Virginia.
Yeah, it is probably my favorite one. We know a couple teams have these custom designs, and theirs is really a beautiful one.
As they're going to start out under center on this one, they're going to go play action, looking to fire. Finds a receiver out here in the flats. That's going to be Brendan Gaucher for 6 yards.
Yeah, Gaucher, the junior tight end, quick reception, needs to get things started. Always need that reliable check down tight end.
As they're going to hand this one off, going up the middle, that's going to be John Paul Smith right there for 5 yards and a first.
Yeah, John Paul Smith, the junior as well. This West Virginia team has been together for a couple of seasons now, so expect this chemistry to really show out. John Paul Smith needs to get things going, though. We know what we saw how good that balance worked out for Toledo. I think that team that gets the balance going again wins tonight.
Absolutely. I was talking to Murph earlier today. He said one of his keys is to get John Paul Smith rolling early. First drive, he's able to pick up a first down as they once again go under center, going back to John Paul Smith, and he's able to pick up another 4 yards.
Yeah, a little cold here tonight in Morgantown, 54 degrees, a lot colder than the 85 we had in Eugene earlier tonight, so I wouldn't be surprised to see the ball stay on the ground early for West Virginia.
As once again, they're going to go shotgun on this one. It's fired over to the left side, but that's going to fall incomplete.
Gaucher, the intended receiver, just couldn't hold on to it. Maybe the ear of the footsteps, maybe the cold, maybe a combination of both, but an early third down here for West Virginia.
They're going to go 2 receivers to the top of your screen. They have 1 tight end in there. Running back's going to leave the backfield as Ellis looks to fire downfield. Has a man, but overshoots it. That could have been 6.
Yeah, I believe that was Kate Graziano. She was open deep, just unfortunately slightly overthrown. And West Virginia goes from a chance to possibly put points on the board to now having to punt the ball away here on 4th and 6.
Graziano getting open earlier in this one. Had a great newcomer game as well, as this one's going to be fumbled, but Eastern Michigan's able to get back on top of that and pick up a 25-yard return on that.
Yeah, Michael Kane able to hold on to it now, as it looks like we might have a review here, maybe see if the original ball carrier was down.
And I believe he is down on that one. I think this one's going to come back. Great play there for Eastern Michigan, but also a bad one because they were able to get the extra yards off the fumble.
Absolutely. So really the only thing that Eastern Michigan loses a couple of yards there. But you know what? I got to respect the referees. I got to respect our guys in the stripes for trying to get the right field position early. Tip of the cap to them.
Absolutely. Greg Cooksey and crew is going to take over here at their own 31-yard line. Their first drive this season, they're going to send a man in motion, giving you trips to the top. As they fired out to the left side of the field to the running back and breaks a couple tackles, Chef Wyatt's going to pick up 5.
Yeah, Chef Wyatt, little just coming out of the screen there. Good pickup there for EMU to start. I expect EMU to keep things short. They're not really a team I expect to see going deep tonight. I expect to see them keep the ball short.
EMU coming off a Cinderella season they had last year, getting all the way to the Final Four as they go back to Chef Wyatt here, lost the 4.
Yeah, we already have an update coming out of Boise. The Broncos striking early, already up 7-0 on UNC. 7:30 left in the first quarter over on Twitch.
Still early here in this one. First drive for Eastern Michigan. They're going to have a 3rd and 9. They're going to go 2 running backs in the backfield on this one, 2 receivers to the top of your screen as well, as they look to set up a screen And they got blockers downfield. They're able to pick up the first down. It's Jeff Wyatt getting his 3rd catch in this game.
Yeah, and once again, Eastern Michigan keeping the ball short, and I think that's really going to benefit them going forward. Again, cold night here in Morgantown, 55 degrees. Expect a lot of runs and a lot of short passes from both sides tonight.
Yeah, and the funny thing about this is West Virginia's first game that they've ever played against the MAC school. As Eastern Michigan moves it across midfield, it's going to be Bryant with a 10-yard catch.
Yeah, Jose Bryant, the walk-on, picking up the first down there. And, I think West Virginia's going with a chip on their shoulder tonight. Vinny, a lot of people like to make fun, poke jokes at West Virginia, saying they're just a back school in disguise. They have a chance to come out and prove something tonight. I expect them to come out with a fire under them. I expect them to really try to run up the score on EMU, especially after EMU was, again, that miracle team who made that amazing playoff run last season.
Yeah, I think West Virginia had one of my favorite off seasons, brought in a lot of talent. Kate Graziano, we talked about earlier, had a remarkable newcomers game, as they're going to look to go empty as Eastern Michigan on this play. They're going to fire it out to the right side, and Jose Bryant once again making a 1-yard reception.
Yeah, bringing in a lot of great talent, but also having some great talent here. I mean, if you just look at this front four, for example, Emma Lee, Jimmy McCurdy, Amari Stevens, Jay Sean Derulo, all juniors or seniors, been playing together for a while. This is a really tough front four.
As they're going to fire this one out to the right side of the field, Charlie Newman's going to make a 5-yard catch, and it's going to be 4th and 4 upcoming for Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, great job there. That's Alex Bernard there coming in on the tackle as Eastern Michigan going to go for it early. I love the idea here from the MAC school.
Absolutely, in enemy territory early on the road, and they're going to get a pass, and with a diving catch is Frazier going for 28 yards.
Soham Frazier for starters. What a name. Love that. Goes up and gets it, comes down with it, just perfectly thrown. Adam Solid could not get back there in coverage. What a play there from Eastern Michigan.
What a play call and what an execution on that. The guts to go for it on 4th and 4 and to take the shot downfield, as they're going to look to go read option on this one. Cooksey keeps it, and he's going to be able to pick up 5, bringing them down to about the 4-yard line.
Yeah, Eastern Michigan really rolling now. Cooksey with a good pickup. I thought Eastern Michigan might have been over on this drive, but going for it on 4th, the big pickup, they got all the momentum right now.
And they look to bring in the heavy set here, because they're going to try and get a toss going to the left side. Chef Wyatt is going to walk himself into the end zone, 4-yard touchdown.
I mean, nobody in the same area code over there for Wyatt. Nobody on the left side able to walk it in quickly. And I mean, hey, last game we saw MAC school in earlier tonight, Vinny. The MAC school scored first. We saw how that ended. Eastern Michigan getting out to an early lead here as another update coming in from Boise. UNC tying the game up 7-7, 5:40 left in the first quarter now as Eastern Michigan takes the 7-0 lead here.
Yeah, great drive from Eastern Michigan on that one. West Virginia, they had a great drive on their first drive. They stalled out at the end. Do you think they keep up the same game plan that they had on that first drive?
I think so. As it was working for them, I think they just picked the wrong time to go deep. Again, cold conditions, even though this is West Virginia's home field, first game of the season, cold conditions, that's not a great mix for the deep ball. I expected them to go back to a shorter game plan.
They're going to go 12 personnel on this one, as Kate Graziano is going to make a sliding catch right there, 5 yards for her first catch this game.
Yeah, great catch by Graziano there. Throwing a little behind her, it looked like, but reaches back, pulls it down. I know West Virginia is expecting big things from her this season.
As they're going to look to hand this one off, going to John Paul Smith right up the middle, breaks the tackle. He's got room to run, and he's going to gas the entire defense as he's going to walk it. Oh, we got a flag.
Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Wait, do we? Yep.
The dreaded clipping call after John Paul Smith just broke that one.
And that's Joshua Campbell, the freshman, just got excited, saw his teammate bust off a huge play, and it comes back, and Nate Murphy, the coach on the sideline, absolutely furious. They're going to get first down, but oh, that hurts.
Absolutely huge play right there. They're going to look to go read option on this one, and the quarterback is going to keep that, and he's going to dust the defense on this one. As West Virginia is going to go back-to-back plays, this one's going to count Tony Ellis' 62-yard run.
Tony Ellis running it out now, and guess who's running right there beside him? Guess who's right there? That's Joshua Campbell who's running beside him, and he's telling the freshman, don't touch anybody this time. What a pickup there. Look at the teammates just running trap. Sorry, that was Graziano beside him, actually. And look at that. I mean, again, we know Eastern Michigan really got hurt in the transfer portal, not only losing their coach, now at Georgia, a lot of players followed suit. So this is a depleted Eastern Michigan team, especially on that defensive front. If West Virginia is going to make any momentum tonight, it's going to be on the offensive side of the ball. That's why this is the perfect game to get John Paul Smith, to get Tony Ellis going, especially on the ground. And we see it pay off big right there as we have ourselves a tie ball game.
Absolutely. 2 huge runs right there. Tie this game up with 4 minutes here to play in the first. As this kick's going to get a broken tackle.
No!
And we got another track meet going on with this game as Eastern Michigan is going to take it the distance on that one. No flags either. Michael Kane, 101-yard kickoff return.
That is now that's now 2 games I've already called this season with special teams touchdowns. As Michael Kane, the sophomore, says, hey, we ain't depleted on offense, though. Takes it to the house. Eastern Michigan answers right back. West Virginia now. Ellis, who had the big runs, now like, oh, man, I got to go right back out there.
That's tough on a quarterback, too. He's going to be drained of stamina. Luckily for West Virginia, though, they do have John Paul Smith that they can rely on early. But it's got to be heartbreaking for West Virginia. You just broke a big play, and then Eastern Michigan answers right back as West Virginia gets set up here. Go ahead.
No, absolutely. It is heartbreaking as West Virginia now with a great return as well, 80 Powers. But you saw the big run earlier, and like I said, we know this is a depleted Eastern Michigan team, not as good on that side of the ball as they were last season. So West Virginia, you have a great chance here to come back and tie this game right back up.
They're going to look to come out here. They're going to go out the shotgun on this one with 11 personnel. They're going to send the slot receiver in motion. He's coming from the right to the left side. DB's going to trail him on this one. And they're going to look to hand that one off to John Paul Smith. Gets a block on the outside. Able to pick up about 13 yards on that play.
Yeah, great job there by Paul Smith. Just takes what the defense gives him, lowers the shoulder. I mean, 5'11", 240. That is a dense, and I mean a dense halfback you have back there. It is not easy to bring him down.
Absolutely not, and you got the speed to go with it as well. John Paul Smith, a complete running back here, as they look to get him in the passing game as well out on the edge. He's able to pick up 8.
Yeah, and that's the thing as well. You have to be worried about. Paul Smith can do it really all for this West Virginia team. You always got to be careful, always got to find him and keep him in the back of your mind.
They're going to go under center on this one and go right back to him. John Paul Smith picking up 6, and another West Virginia first down as they move the ball across midfield.
And that's what they need to do, just get John Paul Smith moving. If you are able to do that, you're most likely going to be able to win this football game.
They're going to go out the shotgun right back to him. John Paul Smith with another handoff. This time it's only going for 2 yards.
Yeah, Eastern Michigan probably getting a read on it now. Now might be a great time for your West Virginia, Vinny, to go with a little play action. See if you can catch Eastern Michigan really bite on that fake handoff.
Absolutely. I think you're in that territory where you can take a shot at the end zone, maybe catch them napping as they look to go out the shotgun on this one. And they're actually going to go read option on this one. And Tony Ellis isn't able to shake a tackle, only picking up 1.
Yeah, but if we know that there's something West Virginia can do, going back to Paul Smith, that's produced great halfbacks. Keep in mind, before John Paul Smith, they had the legendary Jerry Philbin as that halfback position. And then you bring in a guy like JPS, and he's able to do great things. It's a great screen there for West Virginia, and Joe Beasley able to pick up the first.
Absolutely. Great screen right there by West Virginia, as you said, picking up that first down, keeping that drive alive, as they are now at the Eastern Michigan 26-yard line. Going to look to come out the eye on this play as they drop back and go right back to the screen. That's John Paul Smith with it and blocks down the field. Another block, and he's going to get down to about the 1-yard line.
Yeah, Paul Smith couldn't quite punch it in there, but again, this is the perfect game. Get him going, able to just feed off. Great blocks downfield by his offensive line. Probably scores there, but it looks like the lineman actually pushed the defender into him, slowed him down for half a second, and Eastern Michigan able to bring him down right before he scores.
Yeah, it's going to be Axel Hogerson making the touchdown saving tackle on that one. As they're going to go jumbo set here. All the tight ends got the fullback, and I think Eastern Michigan jumped off sides on that one. But it's not going to matter as West Virginia is able to punch it in, Beardsley walking it in.
Yeah, Joe Beasley, the sophomore, getting his first touchdown as it looks like they did jump offside, but West Virginia smartly just going to decline the penalty and take the tie game.
Absolutely. Good chance to tie it up here, pending the extra point. And with 2:04 left to play here in the first quarter, it's all knotted up. Did you expect to see such early offense from both teams?
I'm going to be honest. No, I didn't. I thought maybe at this point it'd be 7-7. Maybe West Virginia scoring both drives. Eastern Michigan really caught me off with that special teams touchdown here, as they're just going to take the knee in the end zone this time. But keep in mind with that as well, that's one more drive. Eastern Michigan's offense got the chance to rest up, come refreshed, but that also means West Virginia's defense is now given the chance to rest up and feel refreshed. So let's see who comes out of that short little break they had, basically ready to play.
They're going to come out in the shotgun with a 2x2 set on this, as Cooksey looks to fire it across the middle. It's going to be Aaron Castleberry, the transfer, with a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, Castleberry able to come down there. I mean, Cooksey, good start, 8 for 8 to start the game. Feeling good, but a great job in coverage by West Virginia, able to bring Castleberry down quickly.
As you can see right there, double yards from West Virginia's offense. They have had one more drive than Eastern Michigan, as they will snap the ball here. It's going to be a handoff going to Chef Wyatt, but it's only going to be a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, that's the one caveat when you have, as soon as a team has a special teams touchdown, Vinny, is at that point total yardage really kind of goes out the window until the other team gets one. You gotta have to have that on even footing.
As Eastern Michigan looks to send a tight end in motion on this third down attempt, as Cooksey trying to find somewhere to go, he's going to fire it to the right side. Has a man on that one. Michael Kane is going to get 23 yards and get the ball into West Virginia territory.
Yeah, Malcolm Kent Brown bringing him down, but Cooksey 9 for 9 to start. And yeah, just a great in and out by Kane there. Look at that. Caught him just slipping. Kent Brown just plants the foot down a bit too early. Great route, great throw by Cooksey as well.
Yeah, and Cooksey, he's only the second freshman quarterback to start a game this season in this week 1. And, I mean, you got to think about it. He's playing good so far. Bo Dale was the other one. Freshman QBs this year looking pretty solid.
Yeah, absolutely. It's Cooksey, they're going to take it for a nice 12-yard run as well. Can do it on the ground as well. Cooksey able to be mobile, as we've seen earlier as well, through their read option plays.
They're going to go out the empty set on this one, as Cooksey drops back, looks to fire to the right side, has a man wide open, and that's Castleberry once again picking up 10 and another first down.
Yeah, 2 receptions now for Castleberry as Cooksey goes 10 for 10. West Virginia just being caught sleeping. They're playing a little passive for my liking on the defensive side of the ball.
And once again, they're going to go empty, but this time they go quarterback draw on that play, and West Virginia is able to sniff it out, and Emma Lee is going to get a tackle for loss on this play.
Emma Lee, the senior, we know how much of a presence she has been on this defense and making it known there. Able to bring him down quickly as Lee, 6'5", 300. That is a big girl you got to run through.
Absolutely a tough one to block as well, as they try to fire this one onto the right side. Castleberry again, 14 yards, another first down, getting inside the PX1 Sports red zone.
And credit to Castleberry coming up big on this drive. 3 big catches so far.
As they look to go out the pistol on this one, they're going to send Chef Wyatt in motion. And they fired across the middle of the field on that one. Michael Kane, 5-yard reception.
Yeah, good pickup there by Kane.
And with that pickup there, that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. And we have a tied ball game, folks. 14-14, fireworks popping off left and right. Stay tuned. You're watching the CFXL on PX1 Sports on YouTube. As we get ready here for the second quarter action, Cooksey has had himself a perfect game so far. He's going to send a receiver in motion. They're going to have quads on the left side of the field here as they go play action, pump fake, and he just dumps it off to the wide receiver screen on that play. Chef Wyatt, he's going to lose 2 yards.
And I love the idea from West Virginia there. They see the screen, obviously. I mean, they're playing back at the goal line. They see what Wyatt's doing, but they leave him there because they know they can get there quickly in the very short field. Don't want to risk someone getting open in the actual end zone. So great job by West Virginia there to snuff that out.
As they're going to have 3rd and 7 here. They can still pick up a first down. They just got to get down to the half-yard line as Cooksey looks to fire it, and he's going to go to the back of the end zone, and that's going to be knocked away. His first incompletion in this game.
I mean, credit to Cooksey. Started 13 for 13. Great defense, though, by West Virginia. Now forcing Eastern Michigan to kick the 3.
The field goal will be up, and it is good as Eastern Michigan reclaims that lead here. 17-14 with 8:32 left to play here in the first half.
Absolutely, but this is big for West Virginia now. They've scored on their first 2 drives, coming back now with a chance to put some more points on the board and finally take that lead from Eastern Michigan. A good stop by West Virginia there, forcing the 3. So let's see what happens now. I would not be surprised if West Virginia just comes out and puts the ball back on the ground and just tells John Paul Smith and Joe Beasley, hey, go do your thing.
Absolutely. It looked like they were having a track meet there in the first quarter with Eastern Michigan. As Ellis is going to keep this one on the read option, he's able to pick up 13 yards and a first down.
Of course, can't forget about Ellis able to run it as well. We have an update for you guys out of Boise. The Broncos putting 3 up on the board, taking the 10-7 lead over UNC. 8 minutes to go in the first half.
As we have 8 minutes to go here before halftime as well, they're going to send the slot receiver in motion. As Ellis is coming from the shotgun, he's going to hand it off to John Paul Smith on the counter play. He's got room to run, and once again, he is off to the races. John Paul Smith finds his way into the end zone on a 60-yard touchdown run.
And that's what we were saying earlier. Paul Smith has great speed for a guy that, again, 5'11", 240. Is a thick man back there, but look at him, gets to the open field and just takes off. Nobody is catching him. I believe that's K-Lock on the attempt to tackle, but could not get there in time. Too easy for Paul Smith. Quick score for the Mountaineers.
Absolutely, and you got to make a decision if you're a defender. I mean, he's got the size to run over you. He's got the speed to run around you. I mean, what do you do if you're a defender looking at that? I don't know. Hopefully somebody figures it out for Eastern Michigan, as West Virginia has claimed this lead as we have 8 minutes to go here in the first half.
Yeah, I think your best case scenario in that situation, I mean, if you're a defender, is from that position, you try to force him to the outside, to the sideline, basically, by trying to chase him down, and hopefully, at the very least, you can just shove him out of bounds.
Eastern Michigan sets up here. They're going to be at their own 25-yard line as they look to have 2 running backs in the backfield on this one. They're going to go play action as Cooksey fires it out to the right side. And it's going to be a fumble from Jose Bryant, but it rolls out of bounds.
Yeah, big hit there on Bryant. Forces the fumble. I believe that's the corner 8. Yeah, it is. A.D. Powers, the senior, as well as Malcolm Kent Brown there together on the hit. But I believe the credit will go to Powers. But Bryant smartly just kind of fumbles the ball out of bounds. So Eastern Michigan holds on to it to make it 2nd and inches.
Was able to pick up 10 yards on that play. Not enough for a first down. And we see them go out the pistol full house set on this one. Looking to go play action on it. Cooksey can't find anybody, so he's going to take off, and he's got room to run as he gets up to midfield before he takes a shot.
Yeah, Cooksey deciding not to slide, takes the big hit, but the big pick up there as well. And that is a great job in coverage by West Virginia. I mean, look at him, nobody open. So Cooksey sees the open right side, only one receiver over there, so plenty of space. Is able to pick up 15 before Brian Barclay knocks him to the ground.
What's your thoughts on quarterback sliding? Do you see it as a mode of power for them to try and put the shoulder down?
I see most of the time, personally, I see it as quarterbacks maybe trying to do a bit too much, because when you don't slide, you do risk getting hit hard and coughing the ball up. It's not something we see a lot, but it is a risk play, but you have the chance for more yards, so I understand why most don't.
As Cooksey fires this one over, and he's got his 2nd incompletion in this one. Eastern Michigan is going to have a 3rd and 9 upcoming from West Virginia's 48-yard line here. They're 2 of 4 so far here on 3rd downs as Cooksey is in the shotgun. Drops back, fires this one, but it's going to be picked off. That's Wesley Bellamy on the interception.
Yeah, and I was going to say West Virginia needs a big stop here. Have not really stopped this Eastern Michigan offense so far, but able to do it there. Bellamy, the outside linebacker, just roaming the middle and is able to see where that ball's going. I think Cooksey just kept his eyes locked on Castleberry a bit too long. So Bellamy sees where the pass is going, throws it to the wrong 17, and West Virginia getting that momentum right back.
Castleberry had been a go-to target for Cooksey so far. Maybe got a little too eye-locked on it. As Ellis is going to keep the read option on this one, trying to power through. He's able to pick up 5 and bring it to a 2nd and 5.
Yeah, good pickup there by Ellis. And again, it's the situation of do quarterbacks slide. I understand why they don't, but for me, the risk of fumbling outweighs the possibility of an extra 1 or 2 yards.
As they're going to go wide receiver screen on this one. but it is sniffed out right here by Eastern Michigan, and it's going to go for 0 yards.
Joshua Campbell not able to do anything there. Great coverage by EMU and West Virginia after the pick, and a quick 3rd and 5.
As Ellis is going to take the snap here, fires it over. That's going to be completed to Kate Graziano for 11 yards and a first down.
Yeah, and Graziano really expected to be a big player in this offense for the future. With Josiah Mosley entering his junior season, people like Pat Graziano as well as Joshua Campbell, 2 freshman wideouts, Nate Murphy, 80, really hoping big things from them.
That's going to be Joe Baisley getting the handoff going to the left side on that play. Able to pick up 7 and bring us to a 2nd and 3. Axel Holgerson, his 5th tackle.
Yeah, Holgerson doing what he can over the middle there, just unfortunately not able to stop him before the big pickup.
As Ellis once again looks to go deep on this one, and he's got a man. That's Josiah Mosley, 33-yard touchdown.
Yeah, Mosley just simply beats his man. It doesn't get any easier than that. 6'3", 225, has the height advantage as well. You're not going to find many wideouts taller than him. And just a great throw there. When they're that open, Benny, the hardest thing for a quarterback to do is put it right where they need to be. A lot of quarterbacks say those are the toughest throws, but Ellis, not shaken, finds the open man for the touchdown.
And if you're Eastern Michigan, you got to start to wonder. West Virginia scored on their last 4 drives here. You got to get something going before this starts turning into a shootout.
Absolutely. You've really got to put a drive together. As another update coming in from Boise, UNC puts another touchdown on the board, taking the 14-10 lead over the Broncos. 4:30 left in the first half there.
Chef White here gets a carry going up the middle. He's going to take it for 14 yards, picking up a first down. Only his 3rd carry in this game.
Yeah, but 3 carries, 19 yards. Clearly Wyatt sees something available on the ground. We've seen him do a lot of passes and get yards after the catch, so maybe Eastern Michigan goes to a more ground-based offense.
Wyatt was one of the top recruits here this season. You expect him to be more of a focal point of this offense moving forward, as that one's going to be fired incomplete by Cooksey. They're coming up with a 2nd and 10 here. They're going to go 2 receivers to the top of your screen. They're going to have 2 running backs in the backfield as well as they look to go play action. And once again, firing it right out of bounds.
Yeah, Cooksey just didn't see anything there. Had a man on the screen pass, but unfortunately he overthrows him out of bounds. Probably felt the pressure and just tried to get rid of it. West Virginia now with a big 3rd and 10.
And they're going to go 2-by-2 set on this one as they look to try and set up a screen going to Wyatt. But that is Emily right there to knock the pass away.
Yeah, Emily, great job. Sees the screen coming, swats the ball away, and Eastern Michigan now once again being forced to punt the ball, with West Virginia a real chance to blow this game open here right in the halfway through the 2nd quarter.
Absolutely, and they're going to get a nice return out of this. Getting the ball up to the 45-yard line is Joe Beasley, and that's where Ellis and crew will take over. As you see John Paul Smith having himself a game here in this first half.
I mean, 6 rushing attempts, but what was that, 92 yards already? Obviously only 1 touch so far in the 2nd quarter, but what a touch it was. I would not be shocked to see West Virginia go right back to him.
And there is that man, like you said, he's going to get the ball to the outside, but is stopped for a gain of 6.
Yeah, but again, we know how good this run offense is already. Paul Smith, Beasley, and Ellis all very capable of putting the ball on the ground.
They look to go play action off of that. He's going to fire it out to the right side, and it's going to be Gaucher once again, 13-yard reception.
Gaucher had the first reception of the game for West Virginia, now finally getting his 2nd reception there. Short little dump off pass, but Eastern Michigan playing back, so Gaucher's able to take it for the first down.
They're going to come out under center in this one. That's John Paul Smith, but he is going to go down for a loss of yards.
Yeah, unfortunately, John Paul Smith looks like runs into one of his offensive linemen as K. Locke comes in with the tackle. And another update from Boise, the Broncos coming back fast, taking the lead on a touchdown, 17-14 Boise State. 3:20 left in the first half.
John Paul Smith going to be the man on the handoff. It gets to the edge. Stiff arms the man, breaks another tackle, and stumbles down to about the 10-yard line, 27 yards on that.
And I thought John Paul Smith might have gone all the way there. Instead, gets tripped up by Eastern Michigan right at the end, I believe. Is that K-Lock again? No, it is not. I couldn't quite see. That is one of the walk-ons, but a great job by John Paul Smith to keep moving.
Absolutely. That's going to bring them into a first and goal situation here from about the 9.5-yard line. They're going to look to go trips to the top of the screen as Ellis fires it to the left sideline. Kate Graziano, 3-yard reception.
Graziano open there, just unfortunately Ellis can't get it to her quick enough so she can plant that foot and cut up field, only able to gain 3.
We were talking about the game Cooksey was having earlier. Ellis, he's been pretty consistent so far, only 2 incompletions. As that one right there was scary, should have been a pick 6.
Absolutely, it really should have been, as KO Locke just drops it there. Unfortunately, you got to come up with that if you're the sophomore safety.
Third and goal upcoming here from the 6-yard line as Tony Ellis is going to fire that. Overshoots his man, had him open in the corner.
Yeah, and that's just heartbreaking. Ellis had the open receiver, but just overshoots him, and West Virginia, you're going to have to settle for 3.
Would have been Mosley's second touchdown on the game if he would have been able to come down with that. Regardless, though, West Virginia does get the field goal and brings this to a 14-point lead.
Absolutely, but that's a great job by the Eastern Michigan defense. Gave up some big plays there, but able to hold them to just 3. Needs their offense to get something going now. They've really been stalled out here lately.
Yeah, this is going to be a big drive here. Eastern Michigan starting to lose all the momentum that they had early in this game. And with 3:48 left to play here before halftime, could do a great amount of shifting for their offense here, because they're going to look to go pistol full house. Cooksey's going to go play action on this one, and he's going to take a shot downfield. Has a man. That's going to be Jonathan Blayton on a 25-yard catch.
Yeah, Bland, the junior wide receiver, able to come down with it there. Looks like it was almost a delayed blitz from West Virginia. It looked like a safety came in late. They'd be playing really well right now, but unfortunately, Cooksey finds the open man there in Bland, and the big pickup there for the wideout.
Once again, going with that full house look out the pistol. This time they give it to Chef Wyatt, and he's going to pick up 6, getting them across midfield.
Yeah, Wyatt, 4 attempts, 25 yards, has the touchdown as well. Would expect to see him touch the ball a little bit more, but it's working out for him so far.
They're going to go 2 running backs in the backfield on this one, looking to set up the screen. It's going to be caught, but it is going absolutely nowhere with a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, Wyatt with the screen catch, but Amari Stevens, she gets him in the backfield, not being fooled, sees it coming, is able to bring down Wyatt for the loss with the help of her teammate. I believe that's 37. Yes, it's Adam Sala, the safety, who comes up for the assist.
2:06 on third down has been Eastern Michigan here in this first half. They're going to have a 3rd and 6 from just over midfield as they go right back to the screen, but it's a broken tackle on this one. Sheds a man and is going to get stopped after a 4-yard gain, Jose Bryant.
Yeah, Bryant cut it back inside. I thought maybe he was going to cut it outside instead. It looked like he had some more space. Instead, cuts inside, just a couple yards short. And Eastern Michigan, once again, having to punt the ball away.
And looks like they're going to get a pretty decent punt. Looks like it should have been down inside the 20, I do believe. Maybe a for the brand moment. And it is for the brand moment, as Tony Ellis and crew are set to take the field here at their own 17-yard line, giving it right back to John Paul Smith, allowing him to throw a man out the way and get 7 yards.
I was about to say, as Paul Smith, 130 rushing yards already, 3 more yards, and it gives him the most rushing yards, or the 3rd most rushing yards, of rushing yards in a game in West Virginia history. The top is 287 by Jerry Philbin, but a huge pass here from Ellis.
And that's going to be taken all the way right there by Josiah Mosley. 2nd touchdown in this game.
Yeah, Mosley just again beats his man off the rip. Great throw there by Ellis. Again, when he's that open, it's a tougher pass than you think, because it's all on the quarterback to put it on the money. But gloves and all, even a little wobbly, puts it right where it needs to be. And the huge pickup there from West Virginia, forcing Eastern Michigan's offense right back on the field.
As Peyton Manning once said, the throw ain't got to be pretty, but as long as it's accurately there, that's all that matters. West Virginia growing their lead. They have the chance to make this a 21-point ball game, pending the extra point right here that is up. And it is good. 38-17, West Virginia over Eastern Michigan. 2:05 here left to play in the first half.
Yeah, and West Virginia, they're really starting to blow this one open. As, I mean, you can say what you want about the competition they're facing, but this is, to be fair, this is the best I've seen West Virginia look since they joined the league back in season 13. You know, I've been here since the start for them. This is by far the best they've looked to me, and I know Nate Murphy and company are expecting great things from this team this year.
Absolutely great things, and their team is looking pretty great so far here in this one. As Cooksey is going to fire that one over to the right side, picking up 3 yards.
And Eastern Michigan going to go ahead and call their first timeout. Barclay with his 6th tackle, so Eastern Michigan clearly thinks this is most likely their last drive of the half.
As Cooksey's going to fire this to the right side once again, that's going to be Blanton for the 6-yard gain, but it's going to be a 3rd and 1 upcoming for Eastern Michigan.
Yeah, now Eastern Michigan not using a timeout here, so interesting choice to use it there, but also underthrew his man a bit. Blanton had to come back for it.
Empty set for this one as Wyatt is going to go in motion. He's going to make it a quad set here as they go wide receiver screen to him. He's got blocks. Can he shake a man? Will not, but does pick up 10 yards and the 1st down.
Yeah, I believe that was Michael Kane who said a great block there on that screen. You pointed it out, and I was going to do it if you didn't. Wonderful block there. Frees up Wyatt for the 1st.
They go right back to a quad set, this time to the top of the screen, as Cooksey is going to fire it right into the back of his offensive lineman.
Yeah, it looked like with Jimmy McCurdy in coverage as well as Amari Stevens there, just unfortunately right into the back of the lineman.
2 running backs in the backfield on this one for Cooksey, as he's going to take a little shot downfield, tries to finesse it in there, but West Virginia right there to break it up.
Yeah, I mean, a great play call there by Eastern Michigan. Just unfortunately, Cooksey throws into double coverage, almost picked off, instead just falls to the ground.
As they go shotgun here, looking to set up the screen pass. Throws it a little high. Wyatt comes down with it, though, picking up 2 yards, and West Virginia going to call a timeout, maybe try to add to this lead here before halftime.
And I think that's a smart decision because obviously just about a minute left. Eastern Michigan could have very easily let that time run down. West Virginia wants to capitalize, give themselves as much time as they can to put more points on the board. I respect the play call. I respect the decision to call time.
As you can see right there, the rushing yards from West Virginia. 200 in the first half. More rushing yards than passing yards. Pretty balanced attack from their offense, as they're going to have a 1 minute here, 2 timeouts to try and push this ball 69 yards into the end zone here, as Tony Ellis is going to take the snap and go upfield, but can't go anywhere and loses 2 yards.
Absolutely, as we do have a score update once again from Boise. Going into the half, the Broncos still up 17-14 on UNC over on Twitch. They got a good one, just like we have a great one here. Ellis can't get anything going there. Great job by Eastern Michigan, probably reading the run play. I expect to see them sell out a bit more to try to stop it.
A little surprised there seeing West Virginia not try to run up to the line. Killing a little bit of their time here. Tony Ellis is going to come out of an empty set here. And I believe it's looking like they just want to go ahead and get this one to halftime. As this clock is ticking down, we are down to 10 seconds on the play clock. There is 25 seconds in the game clock here. 2nd and 12 upcoming for West Virginia as the snap is away. Tony Ellis is going to fire this to the right side, but it is going to be dropped on that play. Gaucher was his intended target.
Yeah, as I do have a correction to make from that Boise State game. Boise State did put up a field goal right as time expired, so they are up 20-14.
And John Paul Smith going to get the handoff here for 2 yards. But Eastern Michigan gets to stop, calls a timeout. They're going to have 12 seconds to go with a possible Hail Mary opportunity coming up.
And I mean, if you guys saw the All-American games that myself and Murph called last week, we had 2 successful Hail Marys in back-to-back games. So apparently it's something that happens when I'm on the call, Vinny. Let's see if we got one brewing here with 4 seconds left in the first.
If you were the coach with 4 seconds, would you try and throw one to the sideline
Absolutely.
real quick, grab a few yards, or
no,
just chuck this down?
You chuck it. You chuck it and see what you got.
And they do, and that's going to be Alex Bernard breaking it up for West Virginia. And that is going to end the first half here as West Virginia has climbed out to a 38-17 lead. Matt, break down what happened here in this first half.
I really just do think West Virginia, they just came out with a bit of fire I haven't seen from them in a while, and I call myself one of West Virginia's biggest defenders here. Again, I know a lot of people like to bash on them for debatably their lack of success since they joined the CFSL, but they came out tonight with just a new fire lit under them, it seems. Not taking anything for granted, able to put points on the board quickly, really finding their groove with their offense, which I think is amazing for them, and the defense showing up big as well. And Eastern Michigan, to their credit, I mean, 17 points on this with a very depleted roster. I talked about it earlier. A lot of this team hit the transfer portal after the miracle run we saw last year. This is not the same team, but they've come out firing, even leading the time of possession. You just have to think, if one or two of those drops, if one or two of those shorter plays turn up, go big, is this a different type of ball game? I expect Eastern Michigan come out of the second half here with a little more fire. Probably see Chef White on the ground a little bit more. So if I'm West Virginia, Michael, send the blitz. Try to catch Eastern Michigan sleeping.
Absolutely great first half from West Virginia's offense. Eastern Michigan's defense got to find a way to slow them down and claw their way back in this one. Just want to give a quick update from the first half as Josiah Mosley had 2 touchdowns in that one. It has tied the West Virginia record for most receiving touchdowns in a game. It is a 3-way tie with Jacob Tomas and Tomlin Clementine 2 times.
Absolutely. That's a great catch by you. I unfortunately missed that. That is why we have 2 people in this booth.
As Cooksy's going to get to work here, he's going to fire this to the left side. Zavi Thomas, 5-yard catch on that play.
Yeah, Thomas, the 5-star tight end, able to bring it in for his first reception. And I think that's key for Eastern Michigan. Go back to what worked in the first quarter. Keep it short passes. Again, remember, Cooksey started 13 for 13 this game.
Got to get your quarterback's momentum going back for him, build his confidence. As Aaron Castleberry was the target early, making his 4th catch in this one.
Yeah, great job by Castleberry there, as another touchdown has been scored in UNC Boise State. This one coming once again with the Tar Heels going for the 21-20 lead.
As Cooksey has nowhere to go downfield, tries to dump it off to Chef Wyatt, but he has nowhere to go. That's going to be a 4-yard loss on that one.
Yeah, and credit to West Virginia. Early on in this game in that first quarter, those screens ate them up a little bit. Wyatt was able to get free. Now they're doing a much better job at reading them. Great read there from Bellamy, who had the interception earlier. Not getting fooled anymore. West Virginia's really sitting on those screens tonight.
The 6'4" junior Wesley Bellamy having himself a game here so far, as they're going to motion Wyatt out, and he's going to get the pass going upfield with it, and it's going to be 11 yards, bring it to a much more manageable 3rd and 4.
Yeah, it looked like he might break that, but Malcolm Kent Brown, great job coming over and stopping that in his tracks, forcing the 3rd and 4.
They're going to go shotgun set on this one. It's a 2-by-2 formation, as Cooksy's going to drop back, fire it quickly over the middle. Michael Kane with 8 yards and a Eastern Michigan first down.
Yeah, and that's a great decision there by Cooksey. Get rid of the ball quickly. Kane had that quick first step, able to beat Bellamy in coverage before, so he can pick up that first down.
As you can see, the total yardage there difference. West Virginia really increased that lead in the second quarter, as Cooksey fires this over to Tyrone Wallace on the receiver screen, but it goes for 0.
Yeah, unfortunately, Wallace just did not have enough blockers set out there, so a great job by West Virginia able to stop that screen immediately.
Trip set here to the bottom of your screen as Cooksey is in the shotgun. He's going to fake the handoff to Wyatt as he keeps it on the read option. Got blockers downfield. He gets downfield. 20-yard gain.
Yeah, Cooksey's showing Tony Ellis he's not the only quarterback who can run tonight. Great job there on the read option. West Virginia completely sells out for the handoff there to Wyatt. So just great job by Cooksey, as well as getting some good blocks downfield. Good shoestring tackle, though, by West Virginia, able to stop him short.
That's going to be the 3rd time Eastern Michigan is inside the PX1 Sports red zone on this one. As Cooksey's going to go play fake on this one, throwing it to the back of the end zone and throws it over everybody's head.
Yeah, had a man there, but looked to be double covered. Again, kind of that throwaway that you don't disguise, or that you disguise.
As they're going to line up once again here in the shotgun is Cooksey, and he's going to fire this one to the right side, making a diving deflection. Alex Bernard.
I mean, Alex Bernard, the sophomore, coming up huge, second deflection of the night, and a huge one there. Had an open man, just kind of sells out as a last-minute attempt and is able to swat it down.
Once again in the pocket is Cooksey. He's going to fire it over to the right side, and Solid just knocks it away before they have the chance to make a touchdown.
And great reaction there by Solid. Looked like he might have gotten a bad first step, but goes and is able to swap that down. Eastern Michigan forced to settle for 3.
And the kick is up, and it is good as Eastern Michigan has their first points here in the second half. West Virginia still leads it 38-20 here with 6:44 left to play in the third quarter.
Yeah, but obviously West Virginia had a lot of momentum coming to end that first half, finally getting their offense out there after almost 2.5 minutes. So let's see if their offense gets back to it. Did they slow down a little bit? Did they lose some of that momentum at halftime? Or are they able to just keep on moving?
Well, the one thing we do know is that John Paul Smith is right there in the backfield, most likely going to get a handoff here as he is going to run up the middle, and he's going to outrun his blockers, and the defense is John Paul Smith once again off to the races. John Paul Smith, 75-yard touchdown.
Yeah, and John Paul Smith, I mean, what a play there. Clearly coming out of that halftime with just tons of energy, no flags on the field, and that is a huge run for the offense, and West Virginia just picks up right where they start.
Huge play right there from West Virginia as Eastern Michigan looked like they were starting to get some momentum for a comeback opportunity, but John Paul Smith said, put the team on my back, and I will take y'all to the end zone as West Virginia has increased their lead 45-20 here with 6:34 left to play in the third.
Absolutely, and if it wasn't that run play, it was one earlier. John Paul Smith, by far and away, now has the longest rushing play in a single game in West Virginia history, though the previous record was 66, set by Jerry Philbin back in season 14. I do believe Paul Smith has at least a 70-yard run tonight now.
That was a 75-yard touchdown run from him on that one, as Eastern Michigan is 74 yards away from the end zone on this one, as they look to go 3 receivers to the top of your screen, as they throw it over to the left side out in the flats. Aaron Castleberry with a 3-yard catch.
Castleberry able to come down with it. 5 receptions, 47 yards. Has been a reliable target so far. Let's see if Cooksey can get some of that momentum back.
As Cooksey is once again in the pocket, firing it over across the middle. Castleberry once again 7 yards, enough to pick up the first down and move the chains.
And this might be a little connection we see building going forward. Castleberry being a solid, reliable receiver there, both in the flat as well as across the middle.
Absolutely, very reliable has been Castleberry in this game right here. As Tyrone Wallace is going to get 10 yards, picking up another first down here for Eastern Michigan. Got something cooking up for them.
Yeah, Eastern Michigan, again, going back to what worked for them in the first quarter. Quick, short throws as well as run plays, not testing anything deep.
As they're going to bring him man in motion, move him closer to the line of scrimmage on this one, as they give it right to Chef Wyatt, but he's not able to shake a tackle and gets tackled in the backfield with a 2-yard loss.
Yeah, Jacoby Cobb, 3rd tackle of the game for him. Wyatt just unfortunately has not been able to get anything going. 5 rushing attempts, 23 yards. Started off strong with his first 3 runs, but the last 2 have just gone nowhere and really hurt that average.
Only 5 carries for him in this game. You would have expected coming in, he would see a little bit more. Nonetheless, Cooksey fires this one over to the left side of the field, and it's able to pick up 10.
Yeah, Blanton able to pick up 10, but now instead of it being a first down, it is 3rd and 2. Let's see what Eastern Michigan has cooking for him.
Eastern Michigan has been 4 of 11 today on 3rd down attempts. They only got to get 2 yards on this one as West Virginia brings a blitz on this one. Cooksey can't find a lane to run through, and it's going to be a 2-yard sack on that play.
Yeah, and Emily getting her first sack of the season just does a great job fighting through the blocks. That is what she has done for 4 seasons now, and just fights through and is able to bring down Cooksey for the loss. 4th and 5 now for Eastern Michigan, most likely going to punt the ball away.
Tough break there for Eastern Michigan. Looked like they had a drive going for them. Instead, they're going to end up stalling out just a little bit as they will punt it here on 4th and 5 as they get a nice punt going towards the 10-yard line as West Virginia returns. It gets a block downfield, able to bring this up past the 40 is Joe Beasley.
Yeah, Beasley got a great block there. Is able to build something off of that run that looked like it might have been nothing. I mean, and who else are we going to talk about but John Paul Smith? has done amazing things so far, going for the single game record now for West Virginia in a single game rushing yard wise. That record is 287. That was set by Jerry Philbin against Missouri back in season 14. John Paul Smith, he has 207 yards right now, and we still have a quarter and a half to play through. Him breaking it would not surprise me tonight.
And not to mention, he's one touchdown away from tying the rushing record, as well as he once again gets the handoff, cuts it upfield, and he's able to pick up 8 on that play.
Absolutely, that's a great thing to point out, as well as Paul Smith. I mean, that's the thing, only 13 rushes as well, has had those big runs tonight, so that average is looking great. As Holgerson, though, his 7th tackle of the game.
Also, you can't forget he had that one run in the first quarter that got called back, as they fired this one out to the left side, and that's going to go incomplete.
I had completely forgot about that run. That's a great point, Vinny. The touchdown got called back due to the clipping penalty by Joshua Campbell, so he probably would have both records by this point.
As Tony Ellis is going to be in the shotgun, fires it out to the flats over in the left, gets a block downfield, and it is once again a track meet here at West Virginia, and he's going to be brought down as Kate Graziano, 49-yard catch.
Graziano just loses the track meet, unfortunately. Great play call there by West Virginia. Graziano open on the screen. She has blockers as well. Just unfortunately, the freshman, she can't keep up the pace. Great job by Axel Holgerson to chase her down short for her first career TD.
Man, Axel Holgerson, you've probably seen him stop about 3 or 4 touchdown possibilities. But unfortunately for Eastern Michigan, they haven't been able to hold West Virginia out the end zone too much, as Ellis is going to look to fire this one and just throws it over everybody.
Yeah, Ellis might be trying to snap at a little bit there. I mean, it's 2nd and goal from the 1, and again, you have John Paul Smith back there. Surprised they didn't just hand it off.
And they're going to bring 2 tight ends in for him as they hand the ball off to him, and he is going to muscle his way in there. 1-yard rushing touchdown for John Paul Smith.
Yep, and now that does indeed tie Jerry Philbin for the most rushing touchdowns in a game in West Virginia history, as we do have an update coming out from Boise. Once again, the Broncos put up another field goal, 23-21. 1 minute to go in the 3rd quarter over on Twitch. We got 2 great games closing out our Wednesday night slate tonight.
Great games popping off everywhere. Here on YouTube, we got a 52-20 game with 3:51 left here in the 3rd, as Eastern Michigan is set to get their offense started from the 25-yard line. And Cooksey kind of cooled off from the first quarter that he had.
Yeah, he did have a great first quarter, and I would say he is cooled off. However, he does look like he's finding that rhythm again here in the 3rd.
As Eastern Michigan really needs it, and they need points fast, as they go to Chef Wyatt on this one. Able to break a couple tackles and finally falls down after a 4-yard gain.
Yeah, good pickup there, though, by Wyatt, able to get some yards and finally settle down this Eastern Michigan offense.
45 passes attempts in this game for Cooksey, as he looks to the left side this time. That's going to be Tyrone Wallace for 5 yards.
Yeah, Wallace able to be reliable tonight as well. 4 receptions, 18 yards, good pickup there, making it a much more manageable 3rd and 1 now for Eastern Michigan. I am curious, will they go back to the pass game, or will they hand it off to Chef Wyatt?
I would say go to Chef Wyatt on this one, honestly, if I'm Eastern Michigan. I know the flat routes have been working for you in the most part. Chef Wyatt was a top recruit for a reason, but, they're going empty set on this one, as Cooksey is going to look to fire this one to the flats. And it is Chef Wyatt. He's going to power his way through, pick up 17, get across midfield.
I mean, props to Wyatt there, carrying Malcolm Kent Brown, it looked like. But a great job. Wyatt able to cut it upfield, pick up the first down, and then some, as well as carry a defender with. And let's look at this one more time. I'm sorry, that's not Kent Brown. That is Cameron Jones, the cornerback. He's dragging for a couple extra yards.
As you can see right there, the splits, 47 pass attempts to 12 rush attempts for Eastern Michigan's offense here, as they're going to send another running back out in motion as they fired across the middle on this one. Able to break the tackle as Castleberry dragged down for a gain of 5.
Yeah, Castleberry able to get a solid 5 yards there here. Let's see what he can do now. Again, Cooksey finally finding that rhythm again that we were talking about.
Absolutely. This looks like the first quarter where they were able to methodically drive down the field, pick up a couple touchdowns here as they go under center on this one. Cooksey fires it out, but throws it over everybody's head to bring up 3rd and 5.
Yeah, good decision there by Cooks. He has another update coming out of Boise. The Broncos put another touchdown on the board quickly. 30-21 Boise State. 15 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter.
As Eastern Michigan is going to try and set up the screen here and sheds a couple tackles, but Jose Bryant is going to go down for a loss of 1 on that play. 4th and 6 upcoming.
Yeah, Bryant just unfortunately could not cut it upfield there. Great job, though, by West Virginia, seeing the screen coming. I believe that's going to be Stevens. Yes, Stevens with the tackle. No, I'm sorry. Stevens gets shaken off. It's going to be Jimmy McCurdy with the tackle. My apologies. Great job by the defensive end.
Great hold by this West Virginia defense. And after that first quarter, they've only given up 6 points, so really dialed it in. And you also account for the kick return that they had a touchdown. So that's only 13 points this defense has really given up as that one goes out the back in the end zone.
Yeah, I mean, great job by this defense. They've really come together after those first couple drives where Eastern Michigan seemed to really get the better of them.
As they look to come out the shotgun as West Virginia, they're going to go read option on this one as Tony Ellis keeps it, trying to get himself some rushing yards. Gets 8 on that play.
Yeah, and I really wouldn't be surprised at this point to see West Virginia put it on the ground, whereas Ellis with 87 rushing yards tonight.
They're going to go under center, and John Paul Smith right there behind the quarterback. They're going to go draw on this play. Lowers his shoulder before he even gets to the defenders, and he's going to pick up another 9 yards.
Yeah, 225. Now, again, the single-game record for West Virginia is 287. You have to see how many more touches Paul Smith gets tonight.
They're going to put a fullback in the block for John Paul Smith on this one as he gets the carry. Tries to bounce it to the outside, sheds 1 tackle, only able to pick up 4 yards.
Yeah, only able to pick up 4, but still a great job there by Paul Smith. His goal is just keep his feet moving so he can keep picking up yards.
West Virginia is going to come out in the shotgun. They go 2-by-2, but it is going right back to John Paul Smith as he's going to get a 6-yard gain and another first down for West Virginia.
Yeah, huge pickup there for Paul Smith. Again, their goal, give him the ball and just let him keep the feet moving.
And as West Virginia is going to come out under center on this one, John Paul Smith has a lane, runs through a man, able to grab a few extra yards for 15 before he's brought down by Holgerson.
Yeah, great job. Holgerson trying to do what he can. 9 tackles tonight. Has been absolutely everywhere for this defense as Paul Smith, as we see, just using that grown man strength to shove a defender to the ground.
As John Paul Smith is going to get a breather on this play, but West Virginia is going to go dual tight ends. They're going to send one in motion to the left side. Both of them will be on the left as they go handoff left here. And they're going to pick up 6 yards as Joe Beasley.
And that's the thing. It's like, oh, finally, John Paul Smith is out the game. Well, they have Joe Beasley right behind him who can do some great things. So great job so far from this West Virginia offense.
Not to mention Joe Beasley's had a nice game in the return game as well as West Virginia looks to go under center on this one. They are only going to have a tight end on the right side of the field as they send the receiver in motion. And there's that man, John Paul Smith, able to fight his way and pick up a hard 2 yards. As that is most likely going to be the last play here in the 3rd quarter. As West Virginia has extended their lead 52-20 as we head into the 4th. Get your 4s up in chat as West Virginia tries to hold on to this one. You're watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube. As we get ready for 4th quarter action, West Virginia is going to have a 3rd down. They are 3 of 6 on their 3rd downs here in this one. As they go John Paul Smith once again, and they are going to stop him for a 1-yard gain with 4th and 1 coming up.
Wow, what a stop there by Eastern Michigan, not allowing Paul Smith in. You know what? I respect West Virginia here. Very easily could go for it, keep running up the score, deciding to settle for 3 there. Tip of the hat for respect to Western Michigan. West Virginia. God, Murph's going to kill me.
Oh, Murph is going to have a field day with you as West Virginia extends it to a 35-point lead. 55-20 here with 8:38 left to play in this one.
Oh, man, the next time we call a game is going to be fun. Great job by Eastern Michigan's defense, though, to slow down that West Virginia offense there. Let's see, can they get anything going here? See if they can get any momentum ready for next week. Yep, there it is. There it is. Thank you, Murph. Thank you.
Well, if I were you, Matt, I would start wearing some padding into the booth with Murphy.
Man, it's going to suck when I have to call out sick for that game.
Oof, pain. As Cooksey tries to break a couple tackles here, avoids the sack, and is able to pick up 3 yards.
Yeah, Cooksey, I mean, doing what he can. Again, it started to get really comfortable, looked like in that third quarter, going back to the passing game, as McCurdy picking up his 5th tackle.
The junior defensive end picking up his 5th tackle in this one, as Cooksey is under center, sends the tight out in motions to the slot as they go to the flat out on the right, and that's going to be Xavier Thomas, 9-yard gain and the first down.
Only the 2nd reception for Thomas tonight, but I do expect as the season goes on, Thomas is going to get used in this offense more and more. Just trying to really understand the offense right now in this first game.
And that's really the big thing here for Eastern Michigan. Most of these players didn't even play together last season, so they got to get a whole continuity and understanding what works for them and what doesn't here in this first game, as they're able to pick up 4.
Yeah, and you can say that really this time during the game right now might be that time. You know, I'm not putting it past Eastern Michigan, but putting up a 35 spot in a quarter as well as holding West Virginia to nothing, it seems like a long shot. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Eastern Michigan maybe try some different things on offense this quarter, try to really start building for next week.
Chef White with his 13th catch of the game. That puts him 3 away from tying the record for Eastern Michigan, which was set by Freddie Chin last year.
Yeah, as Bryant with a nice 6-yard pickup there, picking up the first. And going back to Wyatt's reception, I think that is part of it, being used a bit too much in the passing game in the sense of not enough handoffs. I expect to see that change for Eastern Michigan as well going forward.
They're going to go dual running backs on this one. Fires it across the middle, trying to go back to Xavier Thomas. But that one's going to fall incomplete as there were multiple West Virginia defenders around there.
Absolutely. I believe they're going to give Cameron Jones, the corner, credit for the deflection there, but just a whole lot of blue there. Nothing really for Cooksey working.
As Cooksey once again looks to fire this, the pressure gets to him, fires it away, and drops a dime in the bucket, but Castleberry can't stay in bounds. Picks up 35 on the play, though.
Oh, a great route. Simply put, I don't want to say confusion because Sala and Kemp are there. I think Castleberry just simply beats them, but unfortunately can't keep the feet in bounds and runs out of bounds. And just like that, West Virginia gets bailed out a little bit by Castleberry.
Credit Castleberry on that play. 9 catches, 98 yards in this one. As Cooksey doesn't like what he sees and throws this one away.
Yes, we got a great one brewing over on Twitch as well. North Carolina puts up another touchdown, 30-28. The Broncos are still ahead, though. 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter there.
Chef White in motion and going right back to Castleberry, 3 yards. That's going to put him over 100 yards in this game with 10 catches.
I mean, and that's the thing, 10 catches for 100 yards. You want to talk about consistency. That is what Castleberry has been for Cooksey tonight.
As Cooksey looks to fire, tries to throw it off his back foot, has nobody.
Well, I wouldn't say he had nobody. He had 2 guys there, it looked like, just unfortunately because off the back foot across the body, looked to just throw it short. As they're going to go for it here on 4th down, I don't blame them.
This is big. They're going to go quads here on this one as Cooksey fires it fast open the middle. That's going to go to Blanton for 3, but that's not enough to pick up the first.
Yeah, and he had Blanton as well, just unfortunately checks it down a bit too early. Barclay right there, able to pull him down for the turnover. And let's see, what does West Virginia do now deep in their own territory?
Well, they're starting to get down to John Paul Smith territory here, as he is now 31 yards away from tying that record.
Absolutely, but it looks like Eastern Michigan is expecting the run now, really starting to sell out and send some pressure.
They're going to go right back to Smith, trying to get him out on the edge, and he's going to end up losing yards, getting further away from that record.
Yeah, Cecil Davidson, 2nd tackle of the game there. As look at him, really just kind of unfortunately kind of blocked into him. It looked like a good idea. It looked like Ted Krizik set a solid block, just unfortunately kind of fell right into Paul Smith.
As we have 5:50 left to play in this one, it's going to be 3rd and 8 for West Virginia, who's only 3 of 7 in this game. As Tony Ellis is going to take a shot down the field, had a man, but overthrows him on that one.
Yeah, and I think that goes to show how quickly West Virginia has been scoring, or how quickly they've been able to move the ball with that only being their 8th third down. But, I mean, Eastern Michigan, again, when you're that deep in your own territory, you kind of know that they're going to try to run the ball when you have a guy like Paul Smith. So they do a great job selling out, and then unfortunately Ellis just overthrows his man. And now Eastern Michigan, I mean, some decent field position. I talked about this time being a solid time to kind of start building forward for next week. 5:30 left, but you have great field position. Go put another score on the board quick. See if you can find the West Virginia defense sleeping a little bit.
And you got to give credit to their defense, too. They haven't been able to stop the run most of this game. And when you knew they had a run, you were able to have your defense step up and get a 3 and out. Now your offense has good field position, as they're going to come out here with a 2x2 set. Cooksey in the shotgun. They're looking to set up the screen. That's going to be going to Wyatt, but that is almost intercepted on that one.
Yeah, McCurdy almost comes down with it, but you're right. That is credit to the Eastern Michigan defense on that previous play. It sounds easy to say we know they're going to run it, so we're going to go and stop the run, but we've seen Paul Smith run up and down the field on them tonight, but they finally were able to come up with a big stop, as Cooksey going to get tackled in the backfield. Going to stay in nothing play, though, as Emily gets her second tackle for loss.
Emily's had a great game coming from that defensive line position. Been a force in the backfield all day. Eastern Michigan, 6 of 16 on third downs. As Cooksey here tries to scramble out to the left side, finds Castleberry, picks up a first down. And for Castleberry, 112 yards, 11 receptions. Not only is that a career high for a game, but that is a season record for Castleberry.
And I mean, how about that? Breaking a season record. Again, only a sophomore, but that's still an impressive feat nonetheless, especially for somebody who is kind of being viewed as the third receiver in this offense behind Blanton and Kane. Really coming up big when it matters for Eastern Michigan tonight.
Absolutely, and they go right back to Castleberry for a 6-yard gain on that one. Really showing the improvement that they made coming over in the transfer portal for Eastern Michigan as they look to hand this one off. Going right up the middle, able to pick up 2 and bring this to a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, we've called Bryant's name plenty of times tonight. Interesting to know that is his first rushing attempt of this game, though, Vinny.
Yeah, I was shocked to find out that. I figured he had a rush earlier, but apparently not, as they look to go to the flats. And that's going to go right back to Bryant for no yards.
Yeah, Bryant couldn't do anything there. Now 4th and 2 for Eastern Michigan. And instead of taking the sure points, they're going for it. Like I said, I don't blame them. Try some new stuff on offense. See if you can catch them sleeping. I love the guts call.
Absolutely nothing to lose here at this point, as Wyatt is going to go in motion to the top of your screen. And they fire it out to him on the wide receiver screen. But West Virginia swarms to him and not allows anything.
Unfortunately, he had the blocks, but he had a 50-50 guess of should he cut it inside or out, and he goes in and guesses wrong. Cobb with his 6th tackle. I think if Black cuts that outside, I think he has the first.
As you saw, West Virginia 600 yards of offense. They're going to take a shot downfield, has a man, and that is Kate Graziano with her touchdown here in this one.
Graziano with her first career touchdown there, making up for losing that foot race earlier. And you had to think Tony Ellis in the huddle probably looks at John Paul Smith and says, hey, you're not breaking the record this drive, buddy. The deep throw to Graziano. She catches it in stride. Beautiful throw by Ellis. And West Virginia now putting up a 60-burger on the Eastern Michigan Eagles. Seeing now, can they make it 62?
They expect big things out of Kate Graziano, and here she is making big plays in her first game. Huge first touchdown for her career, as this lead has now extended 62-20 with 3:47 left here to play.
Yeah, and obviously I do want to give credit to Eastern Michigan as well. This game, we haven't said it, but especially after they got rolling, it's hard to say that this game wasn't over about midway through the third, but I do want to give credit to this Eastern Michigan team. They haven't hung their heads once this game. They've come out fighting on every play. They still were fighting like this is a 3-point game, not a 30-point game.
Absolutely. Love a team that's going to fight right there as Jimmy McCurdy gets his 2nd deflection in this one.
And credit to McCurdy on that play. I mean, again, defensive linemen not known normally for their deflections, but able to come up there to swat it down for his 2nd deflection of the game.
A shotgun look once again as Cooksey's going to fire this to the right side. Threads the needle to Blanton for 14 yards.
Yeah, Blanton, Starkville, Mississippi native, coming up with his 5th reception of the game. And Cooksey, to his credit, 49 completions, 350 yards, has not had a bad game, all things considered.
No, it's 68 pass attempts right there. As you can see, 49 completions, a solid completion percentage. Just they've had drives that have stalled out here as they got across midfield.
And I think that's key for them to work on going forward is finishing those drives. Like you said, a lot of drives stalled around the 30 to 50 yard side as a fumble, but luckily for EMU, able to fall on it. Cooksey gonna just get credit with a sack there. Great job, Emily, forcing the fumble.
They tried to hit Emily with a double team on that one, able to slide by him as she gets another sack here. Forces the fumble. Luckily for Eastern Michigan, they're gonna dive on it. Now it's 3rd and 18.
I mean, again, 6'5", 300. I think you can triple team her, and she's still probably gonna get back there.
Trips to the bottom of your screen for Cooksey in this one, and he's gonna fire this one over the middle. Castleberry has been such a reliable target. 19 yards here, picking up the first down. 13 for 137 is Castleberry.
Absolutely, as over on Twitch as well, we have got a barn burner going on there. UNC up 31-30, just under a minute left, and they are driving inside the 15 of Boise State, trying to put that game away.
And a quick update on Cooksey here as he's going to complete his 51st pass in this game. That's going to be enough for 3rd place in completions in Eastern Michigan history, as well as he is 3rd place in pass attempts as well. Passing out Terrell Allen in season 12.
Absolutely, congrats to Cooksey. And another update from Boise State, just getting word. UNC fumbled the ball, but it is going to a review. Boise State may not be out yet, as if it's not a fumble. I believe it will be ruled a touchdown for UNC. A huge controversy going on there with under 40 seconds left.
7-yard pass going there to William Gibson, getting his first catch in this one. Brian Barclay, 10 tackles in this one. Eastern Michigan have gotten better on 3rd downs. They're now 8 of 19 as they look to take a shot downfield. They've got a man, and that's going to be Michael Kane all the way down to the 1.
Kane gets to the 1, beats his man. I thought he was going to go in. Just unfortunately, Sala catches him at the last second as that game from Boise has gone final. UNC held on to the ball. They ruled. UNC comes away with a 31-30 win against Boise State. Don't go anywhere, though, because we still have 2 minutes left in this fantastic game here in Morgantown.
As Cooksey's going to go empty set here. The rush is in his face, but he's able to fire that away to Gibson for a 1-yard touchdown on that one.
And it is crazy to think, Vinny, that's Cooksey's first touchdown of his career. I thought he had one earlier tonight, and it just wasn't popping up in our stat column. So my apologies to Cooksey there. Congratulations, young man. If he keeps this up, we know he's going to be a force, not just in the MAC, but he's going to be a force to reckon with any team he plays, as Eastern Michigan's able to put another 7th spot on the board.
Absolutely, getting his first touchdown and also moving up in pass completions. He is now 2nd most in a game for Eastern Michigan, as well as 2nd most pass attempts in the game.
As Eastern Michigan falls on the ball, they're going to rule that a recovery for Eastern Michigan. West Virginia can't come up with the onside kick. Oh my God, I love this game.
Normally you would see this happen if it's a close game, but here we got a blowout popping, and Eastern Michigan just going to get a second chance right here to add more points to what they have. As they look to go downfield, as Cooksey and Malcolm Kent Brown with the deflection.
Kent Brown was like, I'm upset. Goes for the interception, it looked like, but just slots it away in the end.
As we're now under 2 minutes in this game, it's going to be 2nd and 10 as they fire it to Castleberry. Able to shed a tackle, got some room in front, but can't recover and falls down after 11 yards.
Yeah, and looking at the time as well, it is unfortunate. It does not look like Paul Smith gonna break that single game rushing record as Sala picking up his 6th tackle.
As Eastern Michigan is looking to pass this one, they're going to go to the sideline. That's William Gibson. Another catch. That one goes for 4.
Yeah, and maybe Cooksey's trying to break one of those single-game records for passing attempts in a game, not just for Eastern Michigan, but in CFSL history.
As Cooksey is going to fire this one onto the right side. That's Tyrone Wallace with a pickup of 6, but it's just short of the first.
Yeah, it's stopped just short. Wallace, though, able to pick up the 9 yards here. Cooksey trying to keep this game moving for his team.
Minute 35 left here in this game as they go with the handoff on this one, and Jose Bryant able to pick up 1 yard and that first down.
Yeah, and Cooksey, 77 attempts tonight so far. He throws 3 more, he would be in the top 5 of passing attempts in a game in CFSL history.
A lot of pass attempts for the freshman in his first game as he tries to avoid a sack but can't get away from the second defender.
Barclay gonna get credit for the sack there, as with the time, I don't think they're gonna get 3 more plays off. Great job nonetheless though from this West Virginia defense. Could have kind of sat on their hands, sat on their laurels, but they're still selling out and trying to stop this Eastern Michigan offense.
Absolutely, they don't want to see more than 27 points on that scoreboard as the clock is ticking down. We are approaching 1 minute here left in this game as it's 2nd and 15 for Eastern Michigan. As Cooksey is going to fire this one out to the left flats, and that's going to lose 5 yards. Jose Bryant on the reception.
Yeah, again, Bryant doing a lot of work from the receptions. As, by the way, with that completion, Greg Cooksey, 4th all-time in the CFSL for single-game completions, beating out the likes of Thor Savage and Vito Pepino, now only behind Terrell Allen, Thor Savage again, Antonio McDaniel. So congratulations to the freshman.
Big game coming from the freshman in his first game, and he's going to take a shot downfield, but this one's going to be knocked down by Cameron Jones.
Yeah, Jones just swats that away, and with that 79th pass attempt, he now ties Antonio McDaniel for the 5th most in CFSL history for the most in a game. So again, congratulations to him. Eastern Michigan, they know where their bread is buttered on offense. I expect to see them ride that golden arm of Cooksey this entire season, and if he can play like he did tonight, and the team just comes up with a few more stops, I expect great things.
Absolutely. His shoulder is going to need an insane ice bath after this one. A lot of attempts, but he still played a solid game here. In West Virginia, do you think they try to get John Paul Smith that record? As they're going to go to the left side of the field, and Smith is going to get pushed out of bounds after a gain of 8.
I don't think it's about the record. He would need 25 more yards in 31 seconds. I think this is more about just wearing out the clock and showing a bit of sportsmanship.
Smith gets the carry once again, able to pick up the first down for 4 yards. And
that should do it.
That should be the ball game. Yeah, and it will be the ball game as Axel Hogerson gets his 11th tackle. Matt, what are your final thoughts on this one?
I mean, I want to give credit to West Virginia. They came out with a fire lit under them, and they did not disappoint. Great team game all around. We saw John Paul Smith obviously do it on the ground. But then we also saw Tony Ellis as well as Joe Beasley. Ellis doing it through the air as well. So a fantastic job for them. And again, credit to Eastern Michigan. Very easily could have given up at some point during this game, but chose not to. Rode the golden arm of Cooksey. Just unfortunately, West Virginia just came out on fire tonight. I expect to see Eastern Michigan bounce back, though. They're going to be a force to be reckoned with in the MAC this year for sure.
Final score in this one, West Virginia 62, Eastern Michigan 27. I want to thank everybody in chat for coming out here today and supporting us. And I want to give a thank you to our associate producer, Austin Crow, our executive producer, Mike Peters, and of course, my broadcast partner, Matt Hatchell. And on behalf of our broadcast crew, I'm Vinny Mixon. You've been watching the CFSL on PX1 Sports on YouTube. And we hope to see you back tomorrow afternoon at 6:30 Eastern Time. We will have games on YouTube and Twitch as we have Kent State taking on Pittsburgh and Ohio at Auburn. Thank you and see you soon.